This is the calmest death row inmate, facing death without a trace of fear. But the sheriff beside him suddenly remembered the hundreds of human skin masks found at his home. Realizing something was wrong, the sheriff tried to stop the execution, but it was too late. Sure enough, the dead man wasn't Rick, but the local district attorney. It turns out, just one day earlier, Annie communicated with Rick in court using Morse code. Rick kept blinking his eyes, sending Annie the entire escape plan. Annie got the message, took out her notebook, and wrote down the whole plan. At that moment, the judge delivered the verdict: execution tomorrow. That night, Annie followed Rick's instructions to the designated location. When her car approached the boulder, a hidden door automatically opened. Annie entered the base, typed in the password Rick gave her. A secret compartment suddenly popped out of the wall. She took a vial of yellow serum. Now came the most crucial part of the plan. Annie found the district attorney who'd been pursuing her and whispered sweet nothings in his ear. The DA was instantly smitten. He told Annie that if she married him, he'd do anything for her. Seeing the DA had taken the bait, Annie casually picked up a newspaper from the desk. She said she wanted to see Rick in prison, as a test of his love. The DA seemed reluctant. He told Annie this man was extremely dangerous. Annie said, "You don't really love me," and turned to leave. Obviously, the DA didn't want to lose Annie. He had no choice but to agree. Little did he know he'd fallen right into Annie's trap. They went to the prison together. Using the excuse of interrogating Rick, the DA got the warden's approval. But when the three of them entered a cell, Annie immediately knocked out the DA. She then uncuffed Rick and had him swap clothes with the DA. Rick put on the mask he'd prepared long ago. Using the human skin mask, they successfully walked out of prison. In the end, the DA became Rick's stand-in at the execution. Afterward, Rick used the DA's identity to go to his office. In the safe, he found a bank safety deposit box key. Rick figured the DA must have stashed something good at the bank, so they decided their next move was to raid the bank's safety deposit boxes. Soon, he was in the bank's drainage system. Rick took out a drill and made a large hole in the wall outside the vault. He pulled out half-meter-thick concrete blocks, only to discover an alarm wire mesh behind it. But Rick didn't panic. He took a steel pipe, threaded it through a small hole in the mesh, then dripped corrosive liquid on the lock, disabling the alarm. Next, he damaged the drainage pipe behind him. As water rose over the electrical panel, the bank's surveillance went dark. He put on his oxygen mask and began his underwater heist as planned. The plan went smoothly. Soon, he had treasures worth millions. Just as he was about to leave, he spotted guards patrolling the drainage exit. Fortunately, Annie was nearby for backup. She took down the guards, allowing Rick to escape successfully. They then sped away on a speedboat. A few months later, Rick had fled the city and was living happily with Annie.